Okay. So I'm here today to meet people to see if they have an interest in a sales job with us. We're going to have a company information session tomorrow night. So today I won't be answering a lot of specific questions about the job. So it's just a little short get together and find out about each other. And no more than a minute, just tell me about yourself.
Well, I'm really into antiques and history. And also, I'm really into my friends and family. And when it comes down to my work life, I deal really well with people. I think I have a very trustworthy, very honest attitude that people seem to like, so I mean, between work, I like to work a lot, and I like to be with my family and friends.
Okay. Now, there's times when we deal with folks that are a little upset or angry. Can you tell me about a time when you had a customer or somebody that was angry with you?
Well, if it's just any time that somebody was angry, the most angry I made somebody was my best friend in high school. And he had just been given from his dad a '67 Camaro. And this is something where I learned how you need to treat people. That carried on to how I do my business, how I do my sales. And but only it was my best friend. But we went to White Castle. And he had just got his Camaro, and we ate and walked out. And the guy who drove me had a '84 Cadillac, and their doors are pretty heavy, and it was pretty windy that day. And I opened the door and just lost grasp of it, and the door swinged open and hit the Corvette, or the Camaro, I mean, and put a pretty big ding in it. And he'd been waiting for that car since we were 11 when he was first talking about it.
So what'd you do?
So I told him it's okay, because I knew he was worried about his dad, because his dad, a pretty manly guy, pretty man's man, probably wasn't going to take it too well. So I knew I had to take responsibility and go tell him whose fault it was.
So how'd it turn out?
He was mad. He was pretty mad. But it took all that pressure off Steve, and, I knew I couldn't do that to a friend or anybody, if that would be anyone. That's just how, I feel people need to be treated. And actually, after I told him, it just took a few minutes for him to calm down. He saw the dent. And, it's not like he wrecked the car or anything, but after about 5 minutes, he just knew what he had to do, and he could restore a car like that. He could fix that. So Steve didn't get in trouble, and we remained friends.
Okay, good. Now, one of our critical activities we do in sales is negotiating with customers. Can you tell me about a time that you were able to negotiate a settlement or work out something with a friend or a teacher or a coworker?
Well, I had to work out something with my banker. It was actually the worst of the time of year. It was right before Christmas. And I was working at the factory. This was prior to when I started doing sales. And I had to talk to someone during a time where I had just made two checks that had bounced. I paid two checks that had bounced, and didn't know it because they hadn't told me or sent me a letter. The letter had been sent, but it was lost in the mail. And so when I went to the bank to get out money for Christmas, I was told that instead of $1,000 like I thought I had, I only had half of that. And so I was as sick as I could be. But I had made a pretty good friendship with all the people that worked at the bank. And so I was able to, I let them know my situation and the fact that I thought that I should be sent a letter. And I wasn't mean at all. because I understood that it was my mistake. I should have known. I usually keep good bank statements, but this time it was a mistake. And they knew that, and it was actually a girl that was the one at the desk at the time, and she said, you know, Damian, I know you usually keep a pretty good record of your documents, so I understand it's a Christmas season, you've probably been busy, and so she ended up taking $300 basically off of $475 that I owed.
Wow.
And that was a big amount for me at the time, because I was about 24. And so what was a big loss became a much smaller loss. And I learned, and once again, what it is to treat someone and become friends with everyone that you're around. Because you usually become friends with people if you treat them nicely.
Excellent. Now, you're applying for a sales job, but I've never seen you sell anything. So I understand you have something there that you'd like to show me.
Oh yeah, this is what I'm into. Let me flip it around here. And I would probably go like this. Hello, sir. What I have here is an antique 1910 Olympia beer sign. It's at home because I didn't want to bring it because it's very valuable. And you can tell it's authentic because of its very aged wood frame and because the picture is a lithograph. Now, I would usually sell this, or most people, other people would sell it for about $300, $400. With the economy the way it is, I sell it for about around $150 to $175. And you cannot find a better deal than that. For something you can hang up, if you have a man's room, kind of room to hang out in, this is perfect. And so, if you're the kind of person that has that kind of room or has a place that it would fit in, then it'd be perfect for you, and it'd be for a great price, and you would have an investment. And so, the question is, would you like to put your money down for a piece of art, an antique, something to actually look great in your home, and a great item?
Absolutely. Good job. Okay, I noticed when I was looking through your portfolio that you're a power user with eBay. How did you earn that?
Well, when I quit working at the factory, I quit for a reason. I learned that I was a really hard worker, but at times my work was being abused, not just used. I had to run 2 different lines, so I knew I had to put all that work that I could do into something where I was doing something I liked. And so I started doing sales with antiques, baseball cards, which was my start. Got on eBay. I hadn't worked a computer in 7 years. And got on there, stayed confident, and talked to each customer on the computer as if they were sitting right in front of me. Because being a power seller is a status that's given to you only if you are treating the customer with the kind of properties such as making sure that the item is there on time, the item is as described, and that you aren't taking advantage of them price-wise. Those are the pretty significant things that they want in an item. And it being shipped. And so I sold, I think it was an amount of 100 items in 3 months. And I did that 3 quarters in a row. And that earned me a power seller rating. And there aren't many people on eBay with a power seller rating. So that was a big achievement of mine.
Excellent. Well, this is all the time we have, so I'd like to thank you for coming in, and we'll be giving you a call back
Thank you.
when we meet again. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Have a good evening. Thank you.